Hello Internet, take up a seat, get yourself a cup of tea, and welcome to the Baron. Now, I regularly go to conventions, and at these conventions I regularly get asked, as myself being somewhat of a fan of weaponry and writing and other such things, links in descriptions to all of these things. I regularly get asked, how do you write a good warrior? How do you write a good combat scene? So, the most important thing about writing a good combat scene is having a good warrior to fight these combat scenes. And as such, that is what we'll be discussing. So, this is a three-part show on what makes a warrior. And the first part is the very dicey one, the very divisive, this is the one that may get me killed. Who makes a better warrior, a man or a woman? Now that is a debate that has been going on for much longer than I'll be able to discuss in one talk, one video, but that's fine, We can get through a few of the key points and we can move on and not let it affect us. So, what are the gender differences to begin with in terms of being a warrior? We're not talking about who's better, who's smarter, who's faster, who's stronger. We're not talking about any of those, because to be a warrior, it's not about the strength or the intelligence. It's a multitude of factors that affect different things, affect what you can wield, what you are wielding. So that is the key point. That is the key difference. So let's look just at the biology of the difference between masculine body types and feminine body types. We will not go into any social structures or anything like that. That's not what we're here to discuss. We're discussing a fantasy world where men and women can both be warriors without any social constructs or social situations that stop this. Now that the PC stuff is out of the way, let's get on. Masculine features. Men tend to be taller with broader shoulders than a woman, whereas a woman tends to be shorter with wider hips. We can see this in every day. The muscle mass of a man is centered towards on the back and the shoulders. This gives them very strong upper body. Again, we can see this, but a woman's muscle mass is centered much more on the legs, the bum, and the stomach, giving her a much lower center of gravity, much stronger core strength. When you hear those phrases whenever you're looking things up, core strength, core muscles, that's what we're talking about, legs, bum and stomach. Women are very naturally built there. The fat on a man is stored on the stomach and the back, again keeping it all central mass, keeping it all together, keeping all that weight in one spot so it's not moving around. Whereas a woman, the fat is stored on the chest and the bum. Again, this is common knowledge, we don't need to go into any big constructs on that. So, the vital organs, and if you could not hear the raptor claw quotation marks when I say vital, I will put them up. Very nice. You can see there, the nice big raptor claws of vital organs. We know what we're talking about here. So, on men, they are external. They are on the outside of the body. This is a terrible, terrible thing, because men who are listening to this know how much pain it is to be kicked in the vital organs. Whereas on a woman, the vital organs are internal. Now, this is a key point when discussing certain types of combat, certain weak spots, certain ways of taking down an opponent, which will be gone into when I do a discussion on chivalry. If you don't know what chivalry is, look forward to that. Then, men, the bone structure. This is the last point we're going to go through here on the gender differences, the body, We're not going too far into this, understand? No. Bad. So, men have thicker, heavier bone structures. We can see this in car crash victims and similar injuries. Women, of course, then have a more flexible bone structure. And again, going back to the car crash victims, as I was saying, men die in more car crashes than women. Have you ever wondered why? It is because of the bone structure. Men have a much thicker bone structure, much sturdier bone structure. They're much better at taking bladed attacks. Men are less likely to get decapitated and things like that in the middle of a fray. Very important when you're discussing combat. But a woman's bone structure is more flexible, giving more range of movement and meaning that she is less likely to be injured from a bashing attack, for example, going back to the car crash analogy. Now, after discussing those, and after looking at a number of factors, then we have to ask, who is better in a combat situation, a man or a woman? So, here's what we will go through based on common trends and factors of biology. Men make better soldiers. They are better in a unit where there are people flanking either side. Men are better at rank and file, and men are better at following orders. Now, that may sound sexist initially. Of course, we do also know these as true, looking at the Roman legionaries. They were very talented soldiers in their day, one of the finest soldiers of their time, even in modern day. They are considered some of the finest, alongside the Spartans. Well, there we are. Now, where do women come into this? Very simple. Women are not better soldiers. Women are better one-on-one fighters. They are better wrestlers and gladiators, and are better at free thinking. They are better at thinking up and coming up with new ideas completely on the fly, having no basis on anything that is coming from here. Much better instincts, much better survival instincts. And that is the key to making a better warrior. Fighting is not nice. Fighting is not artistic. Fighting is not well thought out. Fighting is survival. And my primary reasoning on why a woman makes a better fighter than a man is because of that muscle mass in the legs and the bum and the stomach, those core muscles. When you look at combat, when you look at especially fist fighting, you can see that where a punch starts is not the shoulder or the fist or the elbow. Any trained martial artist or boxer will tell you that a punch starts at the floor, in your feet. You bring that rotation round and bang. So stronger, sturdier, more powerful leg, bum and core muscles, you are going to do a lot more damage at very close quarters. So there are some nice base differences between men and women, especially in a combat situation, as well as looking at where the biology is different. In our next talk, we will discuss body builds, and body builds are very important when you are planning to arm and armour a person. So, until then, like my page if you'd like to see more, subscribe for future videos, and if you're interested, follow the link below to my Patreon page, where you can support me if you like the videos. And up until that, thank you, now get out of my house. Bye!